Hi, tonight we're going to talk about how to format text with Markdown. Throughout Studyworx, there are many text areas like this one, and almost all of them can produce formatted text by the use of a tool called Markdown. What Markdown is just a system of putting little marks in front of the lines to say how you want it formatted. In this way, we don't have to highlight, click, constantly move our mouse around. We can just continuously type, and it will make nice, clean, consistent formatting. This text area is much like all of them in here. We have a few extra things here because it's in an assignment, but we're only going to use a few of them for this discussion. The first one I want to show you is the previewer. That is this item right here. So when you click on that, it's going to pop up a window here, and this window will show you what your text looks like formatted. So for example, if you wanted to use a heading, you'd simply put a pound sign and say heading. Control S, and it'll show up there as a heading. Let's say you want to put a horizontal line under that heading. You put 3 little dashes here. Control S, and now there's a horizontal line. So it's really not that hard. We've already done two things with Markdown. We've done a heading and we've done a horizontal line, and as you can see, it's not too hard. There are actually 6 levels of heading, and I'll just show you those right now. Level 1 we just looked at. To go to level 2, you put 2 pound signs, and you say heading 2. Not surprisingly, this will be heading 3, and then heading 4. And you see heading 4 is a little different as it has an underline. Heading 5 is the same as heading 4, only it's in a different color, as is heading 6. So let's take a look at that with Control S and see what we've got. So there are all the headings. We have heading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So anytime you want to format things in that way, all you have to do is put those little pound signs in front of it. Alright, well that's easy enough. You might say, okay, well what else can we do? Well, you can do bullets quite easily. You just put an asterisk in front of it, a space, which is very important, and say bullet number 1, and Control S, and there is bullet number 1. You can do that again. And there is 2. Now, let's say you wanted to make another layer or another level of bullets here. You can simply hit the Tab key and put an asterisk and say that this is the next level. Save it, and there you are. Now, the nice thing about Markdown is that the formatted text on the right actually looks a lot like the text on the left, only just a little cleaner and nicer. But the text on the left is very readable and looks like bulleted text, and it's completely adequate. So, what if you wanted to put numbers? Same thing, you just put a number here. You can do layers of that as well. Put another number here. Okay, and you can mix them up. You could put an asterisk here. Bullet could go here, and another bullet, and then you could put another number and another number, and you're making an outline here with very little fuss, very fast, very easy, and it looks just as good on the left as it does on the right, except on the right it's a little more professional looking. When you print that, that will look very nice. So we did all that without ever taking our hands off the keyboard. All we had to do was type, and that's really the advantage to this. Now there are some more tricks. One of them is called a code block, or literal text, whatever you want to call it. But if you take 3 tildes and put them in a row, and then a couple spaces here, put 3 more. Now whatever you put between those two little fences there will be exactly what you type. So say you wanted to type some columns or something, like blue things, and maybe a column of red things, and you wanted to underline that, and wanted to underline that. Now if you look over here, you'll see that this is now in a little gray box, and it is doing exactly what I do over here. It is putting in the same spacing and everything. So if I continued on with this and said, okay, the sky is blue, and maybe apples are red, you could say that a car was blue, but you could also say that a car was red, and none of that really matters. What actually matters here is that what's showing up over here is what you're doing over here, and it will literally copy whatever you do and put it into a little gray box like this. This is good if you want to do columns, or if you want to do anything like that. Use just these 3 things, these 3 tildes here above and below it, and whatever you put between there will be literal. Now, the biggest mistake people make is whenever you change to a different format or whatever, you want to put a blank line in there. You notice I left a blank line between each heading. Had I not done that, it would have broke things. For example, let me take one of these out, and I will show you that. At least I think I will. Oh, I got away with it. Often you will not. So, do put a blank line there. When in doubt, put a blank line in there. I think I can probably break this one. Let me see what's... maybe I can't. I don't know. Guess you guys are going to get an example of just how resilient this is. So, headings, bullets, literal text, and then, of course, you may want to italicize something or make it bold. Very simple. There's 2 ways to do it. One is just with asterisk again. You put 1 asterisk, and that will be italic. Notice no space there. That's the trick with that. If you're going to make bullets, you'd have to put a space after this first asterisk. Now, if you wanted to make it bold, you put 2 of them. If you want to make it bold italic, you put 3. You look over here, and there it is, italic, bold, and bold italic. I said there was two ways. The other way you can do this, and it's simply a matter of preference, is you can use underscores to do the same thing. One underscore gives you italic. Two underscore gives you bold. Three underscores gives you bold, italic. Save that, and it looks exactly the same. It's just a matter of preference. You can use underscores or asterisks, and you will get bold or italic text that way. Another thing you can do is indent. That's very simple. You just put a arrow and oops, I moved my thing. Type some text, and that will indent. If I put two of those, and save that, that will indent, but it will be green. And if I put three of them, that will indent and it will be red. Alright, so we've got quite a few things that we can do, and we really haven't done anything difficult yet. You might ask, well, what if I want to put a link in here? Well, there's three ways to do that, and they're all fairly easy. The easiest way is simply to put a less than and a greater than sign around them, like this. And when you save that, you'll see that it becomes a link to that site, and it's exactly what we typed. Well, let's say it's a big, long, ugly link, and you really don't want to do it that way. Well, then you can put a nice name right there, and then use parentheses. And you'll see that what we've got here is the same link, but now it just says nice name. Alright, and an even cleaner way to do this, say you wanted to put a link into a sentence. So here's your sentence. It's a very common thing you'll see in web pages. Here you put your brackets around it, and then you put another set of brackets with a number in there, and then somewhere, usually at the bottom of the page, you just put a set of brackets. You match your numbers. You got a 1 up here, you got a 1 down there. You put a colon behind it, and then you just type in the address you want to use. This is probably my favorite way, because it seems to be the simplest. You click save now. You'll see to email me, click here. You'll see the here is a link, and then the information is down here. That does not even show up on the text. That's kind of a footnote, and that just disappears when it's formatted, and all you get is the sentence where one of the words is a link. So that pretty much is how you format things using Markdown. There's one other thing that I would like to show you here. Most of the editors will have one of these icons here, and this is for Endnotes. When you're doing anything with a document, it'll usually have Endnotes. You click that, and it will load another editor over here where you can, whoops, I have to turn this off. It will load another editor over here, and here you can put whatever footnotes or whatever you want. And when this is ready for printing, This material here will be put at the end of your document as an endnote. This is nice as if you're working on your document and every once in a while you need to reference something, you want to put something into your into a footnote or an endnote, you can just type over here without scrolling around or losing your place or whatever, and you can keep this here. Click save and it disappears, and you now have endnotes here, and those you can bring back anytime you want to work on them, close them anytime you want with this. If you want to see how it all looks, you click your previewer, and that basically is editing. Hope that helped you, and we'll talk again sometime.